Speedrunning every SCP. SCP-001 is hidden behind a bunch of fake files to hide the real one. If anyone tries looking at the real files, they die. SCP-002 is basically a small apartment made out of flesh, and if anyone goes inside, they get turned into IKEA furniture. SCP-003 is an object very similar to a computer. It can also grow, change shape, and absorb living things. SCP-004 is basically just a door with a set of 12 keys that lead to a factory. Only 2 of the keys work, and if you use any of the other 10 keys, something very bad happens. SCP-005 is a key that can open literally any lock that exists, whether it's a mechanical lock or a digital lock, like keycards and passcodes. And that was me explaining every SCP. SCP-006 is a small spring that has water which can heal you. If anyone comes into contact with it, they get terminated. SCP-007 is basically just a guy whose abdomen has been replaced with a miniature Earth, and the Earth has its own weather and living creatures as well. SCP-008 is a super contagious virus that turns people into zombies, and it spreads through body fluids. SCP-009 is a red liquid that can harm living beings, and it can also contaminate normal water to make it just like it. It freezes above 0 degrees Celsius and turns into gas below -100 degrees Celsius. SCP-010 is a set of 6 identical iron collars with a remote control. When someone wears a collar, the remote can control their movements and change their body shape. Explaining every single SCP. SCP-011 is a statue of a soldier who can move, talk, and sometimes it just shoots birds that try to defecate on it. It also ended up having feelings for its caretaker. SCP-012 is a cursed piece of music, and when people see it, they become obsessed with finishing it using their own blood. It's impossible to complete it, and when people try to play it, it sounds terrible. SCP-013 is a collection of 242 cigarettes, and when people smoke them, they see themselves as a woman with blue eyes and wearing blue lipstick. Although these changes are only in their minds, they are permanent, so they will always see themselves like this. SCP-014 is a guy named Robert. He was confined in the mental asylum since 1915. Since then, he hasn't aged and is slowly turning into concrete. He doesn't eat, drink, or sweat. He sits in the chair with music playing, and he is also immobile. SCP-015 is a massive pipes filling an entire warehouse. When they aren't being washed, they start to grow and connect to nearby buildings. The pipes are also sometimes made out of bone and human flesh. If anyone tries to damage or repair the pipes, they start spraying harmful things at you until you die or until you leave. Explaining every SCP. SCP-016 is a virus that spreads through blood and it turns you into a monster. SCP-017 is a small shadow guy. If it sees any shadows, it jumps at them and makes whatever causes the shadow disappear. So if it jumps in your shadow, you disappear. SCP-018 is a super bouncy red ball. When it hits things, it causes a lot of damage. Each time it bounces, it goes more than twice as high as the last bounce. SCP-019 is a large vase that releases small hostile creatures. One creature comes out at an hour if the vase is kept still and cold. If the vase is moved or the temperature changes, more creatures come out faster. SCP-020 is a fast-growing fungus. When people have it, they make their homes warmer for it to grow. Then, they invite people to their homes to spread the fungus. You can also only see it through photos and videos. Explaining every SCP. SCP-021 is a tattoo of a dragon. It can move around on your skin and it's very painful. It eats skin pigments and other tattoos. It can also be passed to another person. SCP-022 is a morgue where bodies come back to life as monsters that are very strong. SCP-023 is a big dog with glowing eyes. If someone looks into its eyes, that person or one of their family members will die exactly 1 year later. This dog can also move through walls. SCP-024 is a game show that is very dangerous. You can choose whether or not to play. The losers never leave and the winners are let out with a prize. SCP-025 is a wooden wardrobe filled with damaged clothes. If you wear any of them, you will die or get injured within 24 hours. I'm explaining every single SCP. SCP-026 is an abandoned school where the interior is bigger than the exterior. Random unconscious students could be found inside, and if you try taking them outside, they just dehydrate and decompose. SCP-027 is a phenomenon that attaches to a human host, and it causes them to get stored by insects and rodents. SCP-028 is an area where if you enter it, you get full knowledge of the random topic within a couple seconds. You can re-enter the area to get more knowledge of random topics, but you would start to get dizzy and you would also get headaches. SCP-029 is a super strong bald girl who can control guys. SCP-030 is also bald and it looks like a human. It's made out of gray clay, it doesn't need food, it's insanely smart, and it's only awake when the light is on. I'm explaining every SCP. SCP-031 is a blob inside a North Korea hotel that tricks you into falling in love with it. Then it ends up consuming you. SCP-032 is a fake copy of someone's dead wife and she's made out of silicone and oil. SCP-033 is a super confusing math formula that could completely break math. It can only be written on a certain type of paper, and if it isn't, it disappears within 42 minutes. SCP-034 is an obsidian knife. If you cut a piece of someone's flesh off with it and put it on yourself, you will look like them. SCP-035 is a comedy mask that can also switch to a tragedy one. It has a mind of its own and it convinces other people to put it on. When they put it on, the mask is able to take over their mind. Out of these SCPs, which one was your favorite? I'm explaining every single SCP. SCP-036 is an airport that drops off pilgrims who have died before. 1 day later, they get on another plane and disappear for 7 days to a secret location. No one knows what this location is. SCP-037 is a small star that is 5 centimeters in diameter. It's kept underground, it's changing super fast, and it has a chance of exploding as a nova someday. SCP-038 is an apple tree. It can create a clone of anything that touches it, but the clones only last about 2 weeks. SCP-039 is a group of 23 monkeys that have no face. Because they have no mouth, they don't even need to eat. SCP-040 is a pink-haired girl who can modify how living things look. For example, she can change the colors of an animal if she wanted to, or even give it wings. Out of these SCPs, which one was your favorite? Explaining every SCP. SCP-041 is a guy who can make people hear his own thoughts, and he can also make people hear each other's thoughts. SCP-042 is a depressed Pegasus that lost its wing. SCP-043 is a vinyl album that ends up talking to you if you play it for too long. SCP-044 is a can that can fire anything you put inside of it. SCP-045 is a piece of ice that has 20 sides. It spins and sometimes causes earthquakes. SCP-046 is a part of a forest that makes sick people lie down in it. They get eaten by bacteria and insects. SCP-048 SCP-047 is a rusty gas container. Whenever it's open, there's this gas that comes out that makes bacteria stronger. Which one was your favorite? Explaining every SCP. SCP-048 is just a very cursed number that causes bad things to happen. SCP-049 is a plague doctor who sometimes turns people into zombies. SCP-050 is an unbreakable statue of a monkey. It cleans your room but sometimes leaves traps for you. SCP-051 is a doll, and if a pregnant woman walks near it, she loses her baby. SCP-052 is a train in New York City. If you get on it, you would time travel very far in the past or in the future. SCP-053 is a little girl, and if you stay around her for 10 minutes, you get very angry and start attacking everyone around you. If you try to attack her, you get a heart attack. Out of these SCPs, which one was your favorite?